Hello everyone, this is Alec coming to you with another Warcraft 3 audio commentary. In Game 3 of this Best of 3 series between Infi, also known as Infi, who is playing as Night Elf compared to his normal human. He's best known sort of as a human player, but he's playing Night Elf lately, and he's been practicing a lot as Night Elf. And I think that's sort of his main race nowadays. And it's taking sort of long to sort of load up this game. It's one of the ZOTAC admins actually is sort of taking so long. Anyways, this should be interesting to see what happens, and his opponent will be Rage.Yumiko. So far it's 1-1 in this best of 3 series, so check out Game 1 and Game 2 if you haven't already. So yeah, let's see how this unrolls. Anyways, Yumiko, this is Secret Valley by the way, so the first map was Last Refuge. It was a really good game. Second map was what was the second map? It was, balls, what was it? Was it Echo? No, it wasn't Echo Isles. It was, damn it, I forget what it's called. I forget what it was. I don't forget what it's called. Amazon? No, it wasn't Amazonia. Damn it! I'm gonna rage soon. It was, Turtle Rock, that's what it was, Turtle Rock. And anyways, Yumiko did take Turtle Rock as Infi took Last Refuge. Anyways, let's get into the game though. Infi gonna be going for a late Altar of Kings as he's done in the first 2 games actually. Gonna be going for Altar of Elders, a late Altar of Elders, and gonna be going for Ancient of War Creeping. Gonna be going for that late hero. With that late hero, what you can do is you can Ancient of War creep damage faster, and in some ways it's almost better just because you can creep damage faster in a way, you know, if you look at it in that sort of way. If you can Ancient War creep faster than you normally would. And the game 1 Infi did go for double Ancient War and a Hunter's Hall and went for Huntresses, but let's see what he does this game. Last game he went for Dryads, so and for some reason did not do any sort of a tech switch, which is what he probably should have done against all those mortars that Yumiko had, but he didn't. Anyways, Yumiko going to be doing some standard Archmage militia creeping, probably of this camp, and that's exactly what we're going to see, actually. Let's see what happens here. He should be dropping a Water Elemental. I'm not really sure what he's doing. Should be dropping a Water Elemental. Drop it. There you go. There's the Water Elemental. Finally, and he probably wants to take down these assassins because that poison damage is just so annoying when trying to creep, especially with militia, because that way they take sort of maximum damage, which is not good for a human player. Anyways, let's see what Infi decides to do. Not going to be Ancient of War creeping this camp. Instead, opting to creep out this little green camp instead. Maybe that's just because it's sort of on the way, you know. It's just sort of, it's on the way. I may as well do it. It's on the way. I think that's sort of what his thoughts are right now. And he's going to be doing the exact same thing that he did for this green camp. It's, hey, once again, hey, it's on the way. Why not, right? And he did go for Dark Reach as his first year, and I'm not sure if you guys watched one of my previous games. I think it was, who was it who used this strategy? I think it was like SJO or something. I forget. SJOW used it or something. I forget. Anyways, Dark Ranger really complements Night Elf Army just because it makes the damage easier to creep. Just because, like an undead player, you can take a lot of damage on these lesser dark minions, just like you would a Night Elf player. On what I say, Night Elf, just like you would an undead player. Anyways, let's see what level Infi is. Level 2.4, basically, Dark Ranger, compared to the Archmage, which is level 2.4 as well. So far, it's basically exactly even, and, ooh, look at this, actually. Infi sending all of these Lesser Dark Minions in to try and get off a few peasant kills, and I did hear a couple peasant die. There it is, there's the corpse. So one peasant did actually die, so that is not favorable for Yumiko. Nicely played there by Infi, running those skeleton minions once it's finished away so that they don't feed any long experience to that Archmage. Let's check how the tech is going. Yumiko staying at tier 1, so we may see an expansion from him. And Infi about 1.6, 1.7% of the way done. And pulling a lot of Yumiko pulling a lot of militia, so we may see an expansion go down for him, which is not unlikely. This is probably exactly what we're going to be seeing as they do run out of peasant form, and we're going to be seeing an expansion. Yes, no, yes, no. Expansion, yes, we're going to be seeing expansion. And Infi going to expand as well, so this should be really, really interesting. Yumiko does have that farm there, but he has got this one expansion from Infi. Let's see what Yumiko decides to do with this now. Let's see what, Infi. Let's see what Infi decides to do now that he knows that there may be a potential expansion going up here with all these towers. Does he have the lumber mill down? No, no lumber mill down. So actually, these are going to both be Arcane Sanctum towers. Why do I always say that? I always say Arcane Sanctum towers. They're just Arcane towers. Anyways, this is exactly what Infi wants to do. Try and get off as many Scaled Dark Mages as he possibly can to try and, because this way he wants to try and take down these peasants so that they cannot build an expansion for that matter. Anyways, a lot of the archers look like they fell. But Panda and Brewmaster are going to come in as well as the second tavern here for Infi, as the archer is just going to scroll the town is just going to stop a teleportation out of there to cancel off this expansion of Infi. And did he cancel that? I don't know if he canceled that because I didn't see a whisk come out of there. If he didn't cancel that, then that's huge for Yumiko. As the Panda Brewmaster falls, it looks like the Dark Ranger is extremely low in hit points, so he's just going to make an effort at trying to heal up as well. As the Double Ancient Allure is going to get dropped for Infi, so you're going to be seeing Mass Dryads again, or we're going to be seeing Bears. Last game he went for Mass Dryads, didn't really work out for him too well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Bears this game, which would be standard play for that matter. It's kind of funny that I had to say that it would be expected for him to not play standard, you know? It's kind of funny. Anyways, I'm going to make an effort to try and take down this one little scout farm that's sort of not really doing sort of minimal scouting for Yumiko, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to try and take that down. Anyways, let's see what Infi decides to do here. Just going to decide to creep out this little green camp, sorry. Right now his Dark Range is level 3, Panda and Brewmaster level 1. Let's check the hero levels for Yumiko. Level 4 Archmage. That's a really good Archmage. Let's see if he's still only at tier 1, so he's not going to be going for any sort of a Mountain King or anything. Drop in that lumber mill so that he can get more guard towers, which is exactly what he wants to do, to try and reinforce this expansion in the best way that he can. If he wants to try and siege that expansion if he can, but right now it doesn't look like he's in the best position to try and do that. As this one water elemental should feed quite a bit of experience to this army of Infi. Infi going to be going for a lot of Dryads now, which is probably what he wants to do. Considering Yumiko's only a tier 1, but as soon as Yumiko knows that he's running Mass Dryads, he will be placing down that workshop once again and then Arcane Sanctum and going for lots of priests and mortars. Anyway, let's see what Yumiko tries to do here. He's just going to decide to creep out all of the ground units at this one expansion, which is probably what he wants to do. Actually, I'm not going to lie, it's probably what he wants to do, but those footmen, since they're over there, they're not doing something else. Like they're not sort of putting on any pressure with this Archmage, and this Archmage might actually get caught out though by these Dryads with the slow damage, which would be pretty nice. Which is probably what he wants to do, and that's exactly what he's going to do, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Probably wants to try and slow this Archmage, which is very nicely played by him. He's going to try and pick off this one Dryad who very nicely runs around here instead of going straight to that Fountain of Health. I'm not sure if Infi probably knows that there's Fountain of Health here, but now he's going to scout this out, and all these footmen are going to try and run over there, but they won't be fast enough, and it's going to get killed off by the creeps, unfortunately. So that Dryad had a good run, but his time was up. Anyways, let's see what Infi's decided to do now. Infi's just going to decide to creep up his Dark Ranger's level 4, Panda and Brewmaster should be level 3 pretty soon. As Yumiko still only with a level 4 Archmage, wants to get that Archmage up to level 5 if he can. But now let's see if he uses that sort of AI glitch, and that's exactly what it's not really a glitch, it's just sort of like I'd call it a strategy for that matter. I'm not really sure why he ran over there. Anyways, let's see what he decides to do. Just gonna be taking down that one. Red drake. There we go. Dropping those items. I'm not really sure what he's doing. Killing that item actually. So not deciding to pick that up. Deciding to kill it. Instead, he staff and teleports right on down here to try and get the maximum damage off on Infi's base. As Infi goes for a push over here, he's gonna run his Panda Brewmaster right on back. As both players are sort of trying to push the main bases of each other. But Yumiko is sort of favoring this at the moment, favoring this push just because he has the expansion up. He has a base that he can fall back on, and there's not really any huge amount of tech except for the tier 2 actually. So he does have tier 2 going, and it should finish in a second. But with all these towers, this tower may finish. No, it doesn't look like that tower finished. Wants to cancel that, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to, as he's going to be forced to TP back. He probably TP back right on top. Yep, that's exactly what he did. TP right on top of all of those Dryads. Gonna kill off this proxy shop and gonna cancel draw over there. Cancel it! I don't even know if he canceled it. Anyways, let's see what Yumiko's doing. It does have the level 1 masonry upgrades, so that's pretty good for him. Anyways, Infi decided to stick to mass Dryads, which is exactly what he did last game. Lost an Ancient Allure actually, so probably wants to rebuild that Ancient Allure. Has a Tree of Life over here, so probably wants to start walking that Tree of Life over to here. But there is that Yumiko's one footman right there sort of waiting for it. There's not too many creep camps left on this map. This one green one and there's these 2 red ones, that's about it. So it wouldn't be that favorable for anyone to sort of creep right now. It wouldn't be a bad idea actually to go for this red camp, or maybe get this one if it's on the way, like I said before. But it actually would be a bad idea to creep out a red camp if once one of these players sort of gets ahead or something, then we'll probably be seeing them creep out one of the red camps. Just because you can sometimes get a really nice drop from those Ogre Lords. There's an Ogre Lord, there's an Ogre Magi, an Ogre Troll or whatever it's called, those yellow trolls and 2 trappers. So it's a decently hard count to creep, but you can get really nice item drops from it. And it looks like Infi's just going to be implanting himself right there. This Tree of Life probably wants to continue. He probably wants to eat a tree or something. As he's going to walk himself over, he's going to see the footman. He's going to try and get some damage off. He won't be able to implant himself though, and he won't be able to fight this either. It's not a favorable fight for him. There we go. Now it's going to implant himself right there. As he's going to entangle that gold mine anyways. Let's see what's happening to Yumiko now. Yumiko's going to go toe-to-toe with all these Dryads. Dryads looks like they're going to lose this fight, sadly. Anyways, let's see what Infi decides to do. He's going to be trying to creep out this red camp. I'm not even sure if he's able to, actually. Oh, no, wait. I called that creep camp completely wrong. I didn't even say it was the right creep camp. There's an Ogre Lord, Troll Berserkers, and a Troll Priest. Sorry, I forgot what it was. Maybe this is a different version of it. Maybe I was thinking of a different version or something, but I got it wrong. Let's see what the item drop was. Oh, that's too bad. Crystal Ball. Pretty crappy item. It's a good item, don't get me wrong, but he was probably looking for something much better. Sometimes you can get an aura that drop from that. It's not bad. Crystal Ball to use a few times, but it's not really favorable, you know. Anyways, let's see what Infi decides to do here. He's going to try and get those whips before they get killed, and manages to save 4 of them, but one of them does actually die, unfortunately for him. Anyways, my voice is actually getting tired. I've been casting all day. I'm getting kind of tired of my voice anyways. Sort of not really as excited as I was maybe in the first game. Then again, I don't really get that excited, to be honest. To sort of diss myself, I'm not really that excited when I do my commentary compared to some of the commentators who sort of scream out things and stuff. I can give you examples, but there's not really any point. Just because then you go to their channel instead of mine. No, it wouldn't be hard for you guys to find it. There's barely any Warcraft 3 casters left. Anyways, let's go and check out Infi's expansion. He's finally set it up. He's established this expansion safely, it looks like. Wouldn't be a bad idea if he just sort of dropped the tower and Ancient Protector somewhere right here just to sort of repel off that one Archmage, that pesky little Archmage who's trying to get off damage there. It wouldn't even be that bad of an idea. Anyways, now Yumiko's gained a lot from this expansion. He's going to go into low upkeep, go into probably an 80 food army with those casters and mortar teams. And now he's a little bit supply blocks. He's going to be dropping a couple towers there. Probably a couple towers in his own main base as well. There we go, towers in the main base. No tier 3 tech, so we won't be seeing siege engines or anything like that. Anything of the sorts. As you're going to be going for a lot of spell breakers, double arcane sanctum, and a workshop. So going to be going for, it looks like, mortar teams and casters. Anyways, let's see what he's doing now. If he's going to be creeping out this red camp as well. So really doing a nice job creeping. Let's see what item he got this time. He got a Hood of Cunning, which is a really good item if you give it to an agility-based hero. Like the Dark Ranger, you should probably he's going to pass that off to the Dark Ranger, unless he wants that extra intelligence on the Pioneer Brewmaster, which is probably what he wants. Now that I think about it, he probably wants that just for that extra intel on that Pioneer Brewmaster. Anyways, let's see what happens now. Infi going to be losing that one little moon well. Now it looks like the main tree of life is going to get focused down. So Infi probably wants to get all his army over there, as all these Dryads are going to come in and dispel those water elementals completely, and the Archmage is going to be forced to TP out of there. He's going to TP down over to this base to try and aid his fellow casters in this fight. As Infi's going to be getting a few Huntresses, actually, just sort of sneak through this little hole, but that Yumiko actually made himself, for that matter. Anyways, looks like one Huntress is going to fall. We may see another Huntress fall very soon. This is pretty interesting. Let's check the hero levels now. Level 5, basically level 5 Pioneer Brewmaster, which is pretty deadly with that level 3 Breath of Fire. Level 5 Dark Ranger as well, so you will have level 3 Dark Minions, which is really hard to sort of fight. Level 5 Archmage, and only level 2 Mountain King, so actually Infi very ahead on these hero levels, actually. So if you in hero levels wise, is really favoring Infi. But with all these spell breakers, the Breath of Fire won't be able to do that much, for that matter anyways. Try and get that Breath of Fire off on all these foot and on all these casters and mortars, if he can, to try and stay away from these spell breakers, just because it won't do any damage to them. Very low on hit points now, his whole army, for this whole Infi army. So he's going to try and run that away as best as he can. Now we may see him run up, just going to sort of do a ring around the rosy, run around the block with his whole army. And if he's going to be popping a nice scroll of healing to heal his whole army up, as we may, and now we're going to see a surround on this one Mountain King. Does he have anything to save himself? No, he only has a bunch of scrolls of healing, which he won't be able to use on himself. So level 2 Mountain King is going to fall. That's now that Pioneer Brewmaster is level 5, he will have those level 3 fire. That's really not favorable for Yumiko. Now all he has is that one Archmage, level 5 Archmage, which is still pretty good in itself, just pretty blown, you know. But I don't know if it'll be enough, because now look at all these Dryads are going to try and get in, just sort of run back. Going to try and focus down these mortar teams, which is exactly what they should be doing. There we go. Going to try and focus down those mortar teams, which is exactly what he wants to do. Focus down those priests as well. No, and he's going to actually just TP out. TP over to his expansion, actually. Let's check the food counts. 80 food compared to 65 food, actually. So Infi is doing alright. He's doing pretty good, actually. He does have this counter expansion up as well. The main base is run out yet. Nope, still 1,500 gold left for both players, probably. Nope, 2,300 for Yumiko. So pretty even food for economy-wise, pretty even food-wise. And Yumiko actually got caught out a little bit there. Probably wants to cancel all these towers right now. Really wants to cancel these towers. Cancel them? I don't even know if he canceled them. The last one I know he canceled, but I don't know if he canceled the first one, especially the first one. He's got a bunch of towers in his base, and those level 1 masonry upgrades, so his base is pretty well protected, but against all these Dryads, I don't even know. Anyways, Infi also is 70 food compared to Yumiko's 80 food, so a little bit of an advantage for Yumiko. These Dryads really going to get taken down hard against all these mortar teams. This very nice micro here by Infi. Wants to move these Dryads. Very nice Dryad micro there. He's going to run all these Dryads around the Spellbreakers. He's going to run all the Dryads around the Spellbreakers of Yumiko. And he's going to try and focus down these mortar teams as best he can, and these casters as well. Very nicely done focusing down those mortar teams. Now he's going to want to focus down those sorceresses as well, and those priests if there is any left. Let's check the Panarin Brewmaster can get off one more Breath of Fire if he wants to, but it wouldn't even be worth it just because all left is basically Spellbreakers. These Spellbreakers can't even attack each other. The Spellbreakers can't even attack the bloody Dryads. Or no, they can attack the Dryads, but the Dryads can't even attack the bloody Spellbreakers. Oh, Scroll of Healing as the Archmage has very low hit points. The Scroll of Healing from that Mountain King did just save that Archmage actually. As the Dark Ranger is also very low in hit points. Ideally wants to run away, and there it is. He's gonna actually TP out. Very nicely played by both of these players. Wow, this is pretty epic. This is a pretty epic game. Spellbreakers out. Let's see how much gold is left in this expansion. Only 2,000 gold is left in this expansion. So Yumiko actually has like really only about like 3.5 minutes left. 2.5 minutes left. 3.5 minutes. Sorry, 3.5 minutes left of mining really on this expansion. Now only about 3 minutes left compared to Infi, who's basically done on his first base, but it still has about he still has a long time. Still has about, I don't really feel like doing the math. Still has about 15 minutes left. I don't know the math. No, it's less than 15. Still has about. You really want me to do the math? It's about 8 minutes left. 9 minutes left. Anyways. Let's check out what's happening in the main base. Yumiko going to be going for a tier 3 tech, so he doesn't have that much gold left, and still deciding to go for tier 3, so I'm not really sure what the upside of this. Maybe he's looking to go for some upgrades. Yep, that's what he's doing. He's going to try and go for those master training on the priest, it looks like. Well, not a bad idea, but ideally I think he could spend his money on something a little bit better than that. I mean, realistically, all you really get is Inner Fire. I think it's called Inner Fire or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's called Inner Fire, or there's the level 3 effect for priests, which you get when you have master training, and a little bit of increased health and mana regeneration. But ideally, you don't really. It's not a huge gain, you know. And nope, Yumiko looks like he's going to make an effort to try and set up a third base now, which is what he wants to do because his expansion only has about 1.5 minutes left of mining. Infi's got quite a bit left, and Infi's going to be setting up a third base as well. And Infi really in the driver's seat now. I didn't even see this. Holy crap! So Infi doing really well right now, really ahead in this. And look at that, using the level 6 effect Charm of the Dark Ranger to sort of control to take over that Spellbreaker, who should be immune to magic, but I guess he's not immune to Charm. Really nicely played by Infi. Nice Breath of Fire to take down those towers. Level 6 on that Panarin Brewmaster, and I really don't think that there's much that Yumiko can do against this. These all these bears are so good against Spellbreakers, and yeah, that's it. Yumiko losing this best of 3 series to Infi. The Night Elf player is going to be going to the finals of this 226 Cup. I hope you guys enjoyed this.